بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أهلا بكم أعزائي طلبة المرحلة الثالثة في سلسلة الدروس الإلكترونية من جوجل كلاس روم. وصلنا إلى موضوع Quantifiers. Yes, let us get started. There are two small groups of closed system quantifiers. One, many, okay, and its friends, and much and its friends. Many, a few, and several co-occur only with plural nouns, count nouns. For example, the few words he spoke were well chosen. As you see here, my dear student, few, okay, takes plural count noun. 2. Much and its friends, a little, co-occur with only non-count nouns. For example, there hasn't been much good weather recently. Several is rarely and much virtually never preceded by a determiner, and in the case of a few and little, there is a positive, negative contrast according as the indefinite article or is not used. For example, he took a few biscuits means several. He took a few biscuits, not many. He took a little butter, some, and he took little butter, not much. Yes, since the first of these has a plural count noun, and the third a non-count noun, neither of which 4.5 co-occurs with the indefinite article. It will be clear that in these instances, A belongs to the quantifier alone. Move to another page. There is also a large open class of phrasal quantifiers. Some can co-occur equally with non-count and plural count nouns. The room contained plenty of, a lot of, lots of students or furniture. These especially lots are chiefly used informally. طبعا لن بالتحديد وخصوصا lots تأتي في الأساليب الانفورمال الغير رسمية. Though plenty of is stylistically neutral in the sense sufficient, others are restricted to occurring with non-count nouns. For example, the room contained a great deal of, a good deal of money, or a large quantity of money, or a small amount of money. Yes, or the plural count nouns. The room contained a great or a large or a good number of students. All these examples suggest it's usual to find the indefinite article and a quantifying adjective, the latter being obligatory in standard English with deal. The phrasal quantifiers provide the means of imposing countability on the non-count nouns, and the following partitive expressions illustrate. General partitive, typical partitive, and measures. General partitives, for example, two pieces of news, a bit of information, an item of furniture. While typical partitive, for example, a slice of cake, a roast of meat, a few loaves of bread, a bowl of soup, a bottle of wine. While measures, a pint of beer, a spoonful of medicine, a pound of butter. Now, my dear students, let us take another topic, reference on the article. Specific generic reference. In discussing the use of the articles, it is essential to make a distinction between specific and generic reference. If we say, a lion and two tigers are sleeping in the cage, this means that the reference is specific since we have in mind specific specimens of the class tiger. If, on the other hand, we say tigers are dangerous animals, the reference is generic. بما أنه أعزائي الطلبة tigers are dangerous animals هنا يعني أنه جميع all of the tigers are يعني dangerous يعني جميع بدون تحديد فالreference راح يكون generic. Since we are thinking of the class tiger without special reference to specific tigers, the distinctions that are important for count nouns with specific reference disappear with generic reference. This is so because generic reference is used to denote what is normal or typical for members of a class. Consequently, the distinctions of number and indefiniteness are neutralized since they are no longer relevant for the general concept. Singular or plural, definite or indefinite, can sometimes be used without change into generic meaning. Though plural, definite occurs chiefly with nationality names. The German is a good musician, or a German is a good musician. While the Germans or Germans are good musicians, here is a generic reference. Okay, because it's used as typical or normal. At least the following three forms can be used generically with account nouns. The tiger is a dangerous animal. A tiger is a dangerous animal. Tigers are dangerous animals. But with non-count nouns, only the zero article is possible. Music can be soothing. Systems of article usage. We can thus set up two different systems of article used depending on the type of reference. Specific reference, generic reference. Yes, definite or indefinite article. Or generic reference, take the tiger or a tiger or tigers. With definite specific reference, the definite article is used for all noun classes. Where is the pen? Where are the pens? Where is the ink? I bought. With indefinite specific reference, singular count nouns take the indefinite article a or an, while non-count plural count noun takes zero. أكيد أو unstressed any non-assertive context. I want a pen, some pens, some ink. I do not have أعزائي الطلبة unstressed يقصد بها some أو any non-assertive context في السياقات غير مشددة أو غير مؤكدة. Yes, generic reference. Nationality words and adjectives as head. There are two kinds of adjectives that can act as noun phrase head with generic reference. Plural personal, for example, the French, Francine, the French nation means, or the rich, those who are rich, الأغنياء. Singular, يعني plural personal, or singular non-personal abstract, for example, the evil that which is evil, الشر. The lexical variation in a number of nationality words as between an Englishman, several Englishmen, the English, depending on type of reference, appears from the following table. Where nationality words have no double form, like English, Englishman, the plus plural, can be both generic and reference. Page 70, the Greeks are a musical. Here is the generic. Why? Because it's used as typical, my dear students, or normal. يعني the Greeks in general. While the Greeks that I know are musical, here is specific because I specified to a certain group of people. طبعا أعزائي الطلبة هذا اللي هو المحفظ يعني الغاية منه هو الفهم يعني هو nationality اللي هي الادجكتيف وال نعم الناون. Non-count and plural count nouns. When they have generic reference, both concrete and abstract non-count nouns, and usually also plural count nouns, are used with the zero article. He likes wine, wood, cream, cheese. He likes music, chess, literature, history, skiing. He likes lakes, games, long books. Past modification by an of phrase usually requires the indefinite article with a head noun which thus has limited generic partitive reference. He likes the wine يعني البوست موديفيكيشن اللي هو التركيب المكون من اسمين يتوسطهن اوف اعزائي الطلبه يتوسطهن اوف. واي اوف طبعا الاسم اللي قبل اوف هو مسبوق بذا اللي هنسميها definite article. He likes the wine, the music, the countryside, the lakes of France. Similarly, the wines of this shop is an instance of limited generic reference in the sense that it doesn't refer to any particular wines at any one time. Publication with other prepositions is less dependent on a preceding definite article. Mr. Nelson adores Venetian glass, the glass of Venice, a glass of Venice, the glass from Venice, glass from Venice. This type of post-modification structure should be compared to the frequent alternative with an adjectival pre-modification. In comparison with some other languages, English tends to make a liberal interpretation of the concept generic in such cases, so that the zero article is used also where the reference of the noun head is restricted by pre-modification. Non-count nouns: Canadian paper, the paper of Canada, or paper from Canada. Chinese history, the history of China. Okay? Trotsky politics, the politics of Trotsky. American literature, the literature of America. Restoration, comedy, the comedy of the restoration. This is non-count. While plural count noun, Japanese cameras is plural count nouns. Oriental woman, the woman of the Orient. The zero article is also used with the other plural nouns that are not unambiguously generic. Appearances can be deceptive, as Shakespeare says. Things aren't what they used to do. My dear students, at the end of this lecture, I hope that you understand the lecture or the video lecture very well, and just in case you have any question, okay, appeared in your mind, please do not hesitate to send me what you have, any question, okay. Thank you very much.